back to the channel. So on today's episode, we are going to work on installing this beautiful 6.7 turbo diesel Cummins motor. So kind of an update of what happened last week. So we dropped off the long block at a local mechanic shop, machine shop, and we originally got quoted a couple $100, but it quickly turned into about $7,500. They made some good points on that. The motor had 160,000 miles on it, and we didn't want to throw just one cylinder, one new piston in it, so they were going to do all six. They were going to put new crank bearings in. They were going to put they were going to sleeve the one cylinder, but we started looking at things, and the 4500 motor is detuned. So what we really wanted was a 3500 motor. Looking into that, there was a lot more that went involved with it. You got to get ECU programmed, new turbo, all that stuff. So after looking at this, we actually found this motor here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Normally they're about $25,000. We ended up finding this on Facebook Marketplace for about $9,000. So we made the trip out there this week, went and go pick this up, and it's beautiful. So we might have to have some parts fall off of this thing before we start installing, but we're going to try to get this in today, and probably tomorrow work on trying to get the clutch back on and the transmission hooked back up. But we're hoping that this goes pretty smooth. Everything's already on it. The wiring harness is on it, so all that confusion stuff that we were really worried about is kind of already figured out. The challenge that I see happening here is when we removed the motor, it was a little bit hard to get out, even when we had the head off. So I'm skeptical on how we're going to be able to kind of get this thing to drop down in there, but hopefully you guys enjoy.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic. We're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago. but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling, I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and where I'll go in life, still nobody knows. But I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes, and ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day.
All right, well, she's in, so that was a complete doozy. If I had to give any advice, definitely make sure that you have the motor mounts in the cavities that they're supposed to go to. They definitely won't be able to be mounted to the engine as you're getting it in. It won't clear. The rear frame support, the front frame support will hit the back of the oil pan, so you can't have those on. So you gotta have those, make sure that those are in the cavities. Other than that, we are working on getting everything hooked up. She's sitting where she needs to sit. I think it needs to go a little bit tilted towards the back, probably due to the fact that there's no weight of the transmission on it. We are gonna work on starting to get everything else hooked up and go from there. It was probably been a little bit easier to have a cherry picker to get it where we wanted it. The tractor lifted it and got it in there, but we didn't really have a whole lot of finesse to it. So I would advise being able to use a cherry picker. The ground that we're on just wouldn't support it, so we had to use the tractor. Other than that, we're gonna just work on connect everything up. All right, motor is in. So we got it in the other day. We had to kind of stop a little bit early because we were missing some parts off the old motor that was still at the machine shop. So today's goal is pretty much get it wrapped up. We might not get the bumper and everything back on, but we're really hopeful today that we're gonna get everything else hooked up underneath. I gotta crawl underneath and I gotta work on the transmission, the rear adapter plate, drive shaft, exhaust, all that fun stuff. Tanner's gonna be working on the front side of the motor here, getting all of the accessories back on with the serpentine belt and all that fun stuff. So looks good, sitting where she's at right now. It needs to tilt back just a little bit, but other than that, we're making good progress. All right, update guys. So we are right now working on getting the transmission and flywheel mounted. We got a few of the accessories on the front of the motor mounted up, but we realized that the motor's got to tilt backwards. So we are working on getting the base plate mounted, flywheel, clutch, and transmission remounted. So we will keep you guys on a time lapse here and see how this goes. All right, update. So we got the clutch and flywheel mounted. We forgot a couple bolts, so we had to retake it off and reinstall it. So we got that on. We are now working on the front end. We're gonna get the fan on, and we kind of got the serpentine belt somewhat routed. We forgot a bracket off of the old head, so we got to go remove that in order to install the alternator properly. But we are going to work on getting all the front radiators and intercoolers on. All right. Update. So we got the front radiator, grill, and intercooler all on. We are working on filling it up with all the fluids as we speak. What do we got going down below, Tanner? Okay. So hopefully we are soon to be turning the key here to see if she'll fire up. Stay posted. Project is done. That was a complete bear, but we got her done today. We able to get all the front radiator, intercooler on stuff today. Fired it up. It took about 5 to 10 seconds of cranking to get her to get bled out, but she fired right up. She sounds great. We got the coolant to burp. Everything else is pretty much good. So we're getting a little low on fuel, so we're gonna have to go fill it up, but Ta-da! That's what $25,000 looks like. Everything looks pretty clean. We probably should have pressure washed the entire engine bay before we did it, but it's just too cold and it was stuck in the back in the barn, so there was no real good way to get it all pressure washed. I hope you guys liked the video. Again, if you guys have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to leave any comments. And always, please click that subscribe button. And thanks again for watching.